You're not weak. You're just tired of feeling like you're never enough. Tired of the pressure, tired of the noise, tired of always wondering, what if I fail? But here's the truth. Fear isn't the problem. The way you listen to it is. And once you understand this, everything starts to change. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sat there doing nothing, but your mind won't stop? You keep thinking about what people expect from you, what they might say, what they might think. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your future. And it feels like no matter what you do, it's not enough. You wake up already feeling behind. You scroll through your phone, and suddenly everyone else seems ahead of you. More successful, more confident, more fearless. And you start asking yourself, why am I like this? Why do I care so much? Why am I so afraid? You're not alone in this. Almost everyone is fighting this quiet battle, but most people hide it well. And that's what makes it even harder, because you feel like you're the only one struggling. But here's something most people don't realize. Fear doesn't come from the world. It comes from the way we see it. Promise the good news? You don't have to live like this. You don't have to keep shrinking yourself just to feel safe. There's a way to move through pressure without breaking under it. There's a way to face fear without letting it control you. And it's not about becoming fearless overnight. It's about becoming strong enough to walk forward, even when fear is there. That's where everything changes. Most people think fearless means having no fear, but that's not real. Even the strongest people feel fear. The difference is they don't obey it. They hear it, but they don't follow it. And that's something you can learn. It starts with one simple shift. You stop trying to control everything. Because think about it. So much of your fear comes from things you can't control. What people think. What might happen. What could go wrong. You keep playing these what-if scenarios in your head. What if I mess up? What if they judge me? What if I fail? But here's the truth. Those things don't exist, not yet. They're just stories your mind is creating, and every time you believe them, you give your power away. There was a guy I knew, always overthinking everything. Before every meeting, he'd sit there, silent, stressed. Not because he didn't know what to say, but because he was scared of how people would react. One day, he finally spoke up, and nothing bad happened. No one laughed, no one judged. In fact, people listened. Afterward, he told me something simple. All that fear for nothing? That's when it hit him. Most of the fear we carry never becomes real, but we suffer from it anyway, and this is where things change. You start focusing on what you can control, your effort, your actions, your mindset. That's it. Not the outcome, not other people, just you. And when you do that, pressure starts to lose its power, because pressure feeds on uncertainty. But when you're grounded in your actions, you don't feel lost anymore. You feel steady. There's another truth most people don't want to accept. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of judgment. Think about it. If no one was watching, would you still be as scared? Probably not. You'd try more things. You'd take more risks. You'd live more freely, but because people are watching, you hold back. You stay quiet. You play safe. You live small. I remember a girl who wanted to start her own business. She had ideas. She had the skills, but she kept waiting, not because she wasn't ready, but because she was scared of what others would say. What if it doesn't work? What if people talk? Years passed, and one day she realized something painful. People were talking anyway, not about her failure, but about her inaction. That's when she finally started, and even though it wasn't perfect, it was real. That's the cost of fear. It doesn't just stop you from failing. It stops you from living. But here's the truth. You don't need confidence to start. You build confidence by starting. That's something most people get wrong. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel strong, but that feeling never comes. Confidence comes after action, not before. It's like walking into cold water. The longer you wait, the harder it feels. But once you step in, you realize it wasn't as bad as you thought. Fear works the same way. It feels bigger before you face it. And here's something deeper. Pressure isn't always bad. Sometimes it's a signal, a sign that you care, a sign that something matters to you. But instead of letting it guide you, you let it crush you. You start thinking pressure means danger. But what if it means growth? What if the things that scare you are the things that can change your life? Most people run from that. They choose comfort. They stay where it's safe. But safe doesn't mean fulfilled. Safe doesn't mean happy. It just means nothing changes. But let me tell you something honest. If you keep running from fear, it doesn't disappear. It follows you. It shows up in different forms, different situations, different people, until one day you realize it's not the world that's chasing you. It's your own mind. And that's when you have a choice. Keep running or turn around and face it. There's power in facing things slowly. You don't have to do something big. Start small. Speak a little more. Take one step. Make one decision you've been avoiding. That's how fearless people are built. Not in big moments, but in small, quiet choices every day. I once knew someone who was terrified of rejection. Even sending a simple message felt hard, but they made a rule. Just send it. Don't think. At first it felt uncomfortable, but over time, it became normal. And the fear, it didn't disappear, but it got weaker. That's how it works. Fear fades when you stop feeding it. Another thing, you have to learn how to be okay with discomfort, because growth lives there, not in comfort, not in ease, but in those moments where your heart beats faster, where your mind tells you to stop, where everything feels uncertain. That's where change begins. Most people leave that space too quickly. They go back to what's familiar. But if you stay, even just a little longer each time, you expand. You grow stronger, and slowly, fear stops controlling you. And let's talk about failure, because that's a big one. People think failure is the end, but it's not. It's feedback. It shows you what works and what doesn't. But when you attach your identity to it, that's when it hurts. You start thinking, I failed, so I'm a failure. But that's not true. You're learning. Every strong person you admire failed many times. You just don't see it. You only see the result. But behind that result, there were moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments where they almost gave up. The difference is they didn't stop. Here's something simple but powerful. You don't need to win every time. You just need to keep showing up. That's it. Because every time you face fear, you change something inside you. You become a little stronger, a little calmer, a little more in control. And over time, that adds up. Until one day, you look back and realize you're not the same person anymore. There's also peace in accepting things as they are. Not everything will go your way. Not everyone will understand you. Not every effort will pay off immediately. And that's okay. When you accept that, you stop fighting reality. You stop wasting energy on things you can't change. And you focus on what matters, your path, your growth, your life. And here's the quiet truth. Fearless people aren't loud. They're not always bold or aggressive. Sometimes they're calm. They move quietly. They don't need validation. They don't need approval because they've already accepted themselves. That's real strength, not proving something to others, but being at peace within yourself. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, if you've been feeling stuck, if fear has been holding you back, remember this. You're not broken. You're just learning how to face yourself, learning how to stand firm in a world that keeps pushing you. And you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one step, one honest step forward, even if it's small, even if it's uncomfortable, because that step is where your new life begins. A life where you don't run from fear, but walk through it. Calm, steady, unshaken. That's who you're becoming. Not someone without fear, but someone who's stronger than it. If this spoke to you, if you felt something shift inside, consider subscribing and come back to this whenever you need a reminder. You're stronger than you think.